gentlemen, today we are Wednesday, August 26, 2020. At this time, it is 5:30, and we're ready to begin our 2020-2021 budget and proposed tax rate public hearing. We'll move on to roll call.
Alex Cantu, present.
Mary Hernandez, present.
Nerida Cantu, present.
Present. I do declare a quorum. We'll move on to public hearing to discuss La Jolla ISD 2020-2021 budget and 2020 proposed tax rate. Dr. Science.
Thank you, Ms. Ochoa. Good evening, everyone, and thank you everyone that's joining us today for our public hearing. Mr. Joel Trevino, our Assistant Superintendent for Administration and Finance, will lead our discussion on the 2020-2021 budget and 2020 proposed tax rate. Thank you, Mr. Trevino.
Thank you, Dr. Science. Good afternoon, Madam President, members of the board, Dr. Science, and community members. Today's public hearing is to discuss the 2020-2021 budget and the tax rate for La Jolla ISD. Just to let you know, the public know that all required publications have been posted. Okay, so I would like to go ahead and start with the presentation. Once again, it's a public hearing for the district budget and tax rate for the 2020-21 school year. Okay, we have here our certified property values. These are the budget facts. We are at $2,769,929,321. That is all consists of all the property values within La Jolla ISD. Based on those property values and the tax rate of $1.3110, our tax levy for the 2021 school year is $35,443,308. For this coming school year, we anticipate a 98% collection rate that will generate actual collections of $34,734,442, which $27,670,000 are in the maintenance and operations, and $7,063,000 are in the debt service. Okay. Our average daily attendance projection for this coming school year is 23,945. Okay. Our budget here includes the following salary increases as previously approved by the board. For teachers, librarians, and nurses, it's $1,100. Auxiliary staff and classified staff is 2.5% of the job grade midpoint, and other non-teaching professionals is 1.5% of the corresponding job grade midpoint. Our budget also includes debt service payments. In the general fund, we have some capital leases and tax maintenance bonds that we need to pay for. That is a total of $5.6 million. And our debt service payments is $21,898,000. Our budget also includes a 504 increase in district contribution per employee per year for health insurance premiums. And this is only, of course, the district's contribution. Okay, we do have two special projects that are we including within our budget, and that's a drainage improvement at Juarez Lincoln, worth $300,000, and the replace for chill water towers at Palmview High School, totaling $900,000 for a total of $1.2 million. This is what our budget consists of. These are some of the budget facts. Any questions? If not, we'll proceed. This is a summary of our all of our funds within our district. We have them listed by fund number, the fund name, fund balance, what is being used to balance out the budget, a revenues column, transfers in and out column, and appropriations column. If at the first subtotal, that is all of our governmental funds, and the ones at the bottom is our internal service funds. Okay, are there any questions on this particular slide? If not, we can proceed to page 4. This is our summary and is grouped in 3 categories for all governmental funds. We have them under the general fund, all 100 funds, special revenue funds, 200 funds, Debt service funds, 500 funds. These are all governmental funds and our totals column. I'd like to tell you here under the total revenues, under the totals for all governmental funds is 388,546,679 in total revenues, total monies, resources available. This includes 18,824,234 from fund balance. Also, we have our total expenditures of 388,546,679, which matches our revenues. We're in balance, but we're using $18 million out of fund balance. I want to point out that most of our budget, it's an instruction. Out of the $388,187 are in instruction, which is why we're here. This is our purpose, to instruct our kids, and the money is being reflected on the appropriate function. Any questions under? Not, we can proceed to the next page, page number 5. Once again, these are the revenues summary in a graph format, and this is for all governmental funds from funds 100 to 599. The blue represents our local revenues. Here we have $36,736,129, which represent about 10.4 of our revenues. Okay, the ones shaded in red, those are our state revenues. This is where we get most of our money from, and that is about approximately $260,798,659, which represents about 74.1% of our total revenues. Then the ones shaded in green, that's our federal monies. That is $54,421,655. That represent about 15.5% of our total revenues. This is where we're getting our monies from. Any questions? If not, we can go on to page 6. Once again, these are our governmental funds. These are the expenditures. Where are we spending our money and what activity? As you can see, the one highlighted in red, that represent all of instruction, not just direct classroom instruction. It includes library, media, and staff development for our teachers. That is $202,128,211. That represent about 54.6% of our budget is in instructional related activities. Okay, instructional leadership, that's $24,382,920. About 6.6% is in instructional leadership. Okay. Student support services, that's highlighted in white or cream, that represents $65,249,175. That's 17.6 of our total budget is in student support services. One shaded in green, that is in administrative support services. That's $9 million, representing 2.5% of our budget. The purple one is support services, non-student based. That's $40,255,919, 10.9% of our total budget. The ones in yellow, that's auxiliary, that's ancillary services, mainly our community involvement. That's $1,277,000, which is 0.3% of our total budget. The one shaded in blue, that's our debt service. That's a total of $27,529,000 in debt service payments. We have capital outlay, that it's very minimal what we have. And then we have intergovernmental charges of $351,450, 0.1%. Any questions in any of these numbers here? Not. Our next slide, this is only for our general fund, and which is our 100 funds. And this one it's a presentation in the type of expenditure. The other ones were in activities. This is the type of expenditures. As you can see, the one in red, that represents payroll costs. And this is only on our general fund. That's $252 million, 79.8% of our budget in the general fund is to pay for salaries. The ones represented in blue is contracted services. That's $22 million, which is 6.9% of our budget in the general fund. 6,300 supplies and materials, the one highlighted in green, that represents $28 million. That's 8.8% of our general fund budget. Once in blue, that's other operating costs. That's almost $7 million. That's 2.2% of our budget in the general fund. We have under the 6,500 category debt service, we have the $5.6 million, which is 1.8% of our budget. And capital outlay within our general fund is $1,449,000, which is 0.5%, and that is all within our general fund. Are there any questions on this slide? Any questions in general over on the presentation? If not, this concludes the presentation for the budget and the adoption of the tax, the public hearing for the adoption of the budget and the adoption of the tax rate. Thank you.
Did anyone sign up for public audience for the public input? Do you know?
Not to
That
my
I
knowledge.
know of, there isn't any. I don't know if you want to check about Blanca.
For the-
Nothing on our end. No, ma'am. No public comment.
Thank you. Ms. Cantu, do you have the times right when our colleagues join the budget and tax rate public hearing?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Okay. For the record, Mr. Garza and Ms. Ochoa are with us. Welcome. Okay, if we don't have any further comments or any public input, we will now move to the next item, which is adjournment of the meeting, and we will adjourn at 5:42.